All right, people, you see this right here? Listen to this. You know what that is? No, it's not a singing bowl. It's not a singing bowl. That's the sound of Penny Kelly getting a download of epic proportions. So I woke up this morning, Saturday, about 8 o'clock. Little Ian's in there. Sound like a goat sometimes in there. What's up, Ian? You hungry, baby? Yeah, he was a little hungry. And after he ate, he's just looking at Mama, looking right up at Mama, smiling. Smiling away. Got the cutest smile. So you know what I sang him? When I see you smile, I can change the world. Oh, I see you shining right through to me. Ian, when I see you smile at me. So, anyways, I wake up. Oh, Penny Kelly has a update on her new Patreon account. She's like, I finally figured this thing out and got my first real video up and, private subscription. And I watch it. It's about a 20-minute video or so. She says, I was doing an interview the other day, and I don't think it was with me, because the thing she said, I was like, I don't think I remember asking that. So it's probably with somebody else recently. And she goes, as that question was asked, and now I forget what the question was, but it's actually doesn't really matter that much. She goes, as I got a download. I got like an intuitive download. Just because the question was asked. It just happened. So she goes on to talk about, I'm going to tell you a few things that I just remember off my top of my head, but she, of course, has her Patreon account now, and that's where the full thing's at. Which I'll Penny Kelly, it's patreon.com/Penny Kelly. That's pretty much how you get to everybody. Patreon.com/ whatever the name they set up is. In her case, Penny Kelly. In my case, JSnip4. So basically, and I'd love to come out here and play just like, hey Penny, can I play your whole video for free? Like on YouTube. Nah. She just set her freaking thing up on Patreon. She's trying to grow a little subscriber base. So she probably would have said, yeah, go ahead, Joe. I'm not going to do it. No, not fair to her. So I'll just talk to you about some of the things I remember. And I'm going to be missing a few things for sure. But I'm going to give you kind of the gist of it. And I thought, I commented on her Patreon. Oh my God, Penny. I think you just nailed this. I think you just nailed it. The whole thing with China shutting down, all this stuff. Q had said, and I think they used a triangle as a example. And they talked about, we removed one leg, bye-bye. And I don't remember if they said, we removed the second leg, bye-bye, and now we only have one leg left, or there's two legs left. I don't remember. Again, not really that important right now. Just keep that in mind. She says, when Donald Trump said he's going to drain the swamp, I think most of us thought, this freaking dirty swamp in D.C. But it's becoming obvious, and again with Q, no. You didn't, like Q said, you didn't think this was just a 4-year election, did you? Another 4-year election cycle, did you? This is worldwide. He's draining the swamp worldwide. Not just America. She talks about the deal he made and helped out in North Korea. She talks about how North Korea and Iran were big deep state, tools that were controlled for a long time. Remember Dennis Rodman, former NBA basketball dude? I asked Obama if I could help. He's in there crying on his interview. I asked Obama, nothing, man, nothing. Donald Trump comes in. I'm able to go over there. I'm working with Kim Jong-un, and progress is being made. Remember that? That was under Donald Trump's watch. Very positive outcome thus far, anyways. And that was another tool, according to Penny, and I believe her. I believe what she's saying. You will too. Every time, North Korea's going to use a nuke. Iran's going to use a nuke. That was their little, bully of the world. So they bully things with them and get stuff done over here, and if that gets out of line, we bully more with those guys. So she said, it's funny that this whole outbreak happened in China. And then went right over to Iran. She says, is it possible, through part of her download, that this whole thing in China, it was a false flag, but not in the sense that you think. Global population reduction, it's this, it's that. No. The Democrats, they're going to pump that because they do it every 2 years. It's their little slush fund. Hey, what time is it? Oh, it's 2 years, guys. Run with it again. We get more U.S. aid funding every time. Outbreak, we've got an emergency spending bill. Okay. They get their little slush fund. Okay, got our back pockets filled with this fraudulent money laundering we're doing. So that's how they're seeing this. She's thinking, if China did this, and they're showing the whole world that they're shutting down, that there's a major problem in China, why would you shoot yourself in the foot if you're China? That's a bad thing to do. At least hide it and everything's fine. And don't show this crazy stuff you're doing. Locking people down, they can't work, they can't do this, they can't do that. How are they going to earn an income? She said, the deep state plan, just look around, we know this. The deep state plan, remove all the manufacturing, all the important jobs out of America, send them over to China. This has been going on for many, many years, a few decades. So we're essentially crippling America, or can cripple America, at a moment's notice because all the important stuff's in China. At the same time, we're slowly removing all these jobs in America. A lot of people suffered. America is no longer self-sufficient as it once was. So again, now you have a playing card against America when you need it. So her download, she thinks, is China is playing ball with Trump. Potentially Iran is too. And I thought, whoa. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wasn't there some QAnon photographs not too long ago of people in Iran with their faces covered so you couldn't see them holding the Q sign? The same kind of way we see at Guantanamo Bay, those 3 soldiers standing in front of the Guantanamo Bay sign with QAnon sign symbols with faces covered. Let you know, we're some important people, and guess what? We're part of the Q thing. So I thought, that is strange, huh? And also where? Hong Kong, we've seen that there too. So I thought, the protest, China doesn't want to give up Hong Kong and all that. And look, at the end of the day, is it possible that it wasn't necessarily China that didn't want to give up Hong Kong? She didn't say this. I'm just thinking of this now. But the good guys, the Trump boys, working with Hong Kong. Because remember what Trump said to China, hey, we'd urge China not to come down with the heavy fist and, kind of, not, whatever. And, if China gets crazy on them, we may have to, screw them over with heavier duty trade, trade deals, tariffs. He was using that as leverage to say, hey, don't be too hard on the Hong Kong thing. Then again, all of a sudden now it stops. We got this Corona thing to deal with. So now, where's Hong Kong at in this? Who knows? And again, the numbers out of Hong Kong are like nothing. Nothing even over there, which is, again, very odd. But she said, the robes, in other words, China might be playing ball with Trump and them. Oh yeah, let's do the pandemic thing that the deep state, the Democrats are already planning. We're going to use it against them. And we will shut down. And if we shut down in China, That's a direct hit. That's a shot across the bow directly to the deep state. Because they set up shop in China. They took all of our manufacturing, all our stuff, and put it in China. All the big tech companies use China. You following me? They're getting hurt bad. The deep state, because of this, is actually getting hurt bad. And I thought, well, that does make sense. That's true. You know, because it looks like, well, they're just shooting themselves in the foot. They're realizing Trump, they can't stop them, so they're just going out with the blaze of glory. I don't know. She said, you know, the robes that met her 40 years ago and showed her some visions, which was, again, her book, The Robes. It was pretty incredible. She said, they showed me. And she goes, you know, I think I was talking about this on Joe Realist News Channel the other day, and I think she did mention it. But she said, you know, the robes showed me. And she goes, when they told me we could defeat this global, they didn't use the word deep state, but that's what we're going to use now, this deep state apparatus to free humanity, so to speak, and free the technologies we're sitting on that they don't want us to have, that could better all of our lives. She said they told her about, well, when people stop going to work as basically not because, oh, Corona, simply because I'm not going to work, is how she took it. When everybody started doing that, it would destroy their big corporate powers. And that would be the start of the finish of those people. This all-encompassing power. She said, that's how I took it. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a 1960s style protest. Hey, everybody, that's it. We've had enough, you know. And she goes, no. It's happening right now, and China just started it. And not only are people having to forcefully stay home in China, which is directly hurting the pocketbooks of the deep state bad, you're forcing people now in America and other countries, oh, we got to stay home. We got to stay home. The virus is spreading. Even the tech companies. These liberals are falling for it too, I guess. The tech companies. Oh, so work from home. Facebook, work from home. And here I thought it was, again, just a ploy that they're all part of this. And maybe they are. We're not real sure. And she said, you know, I just got a download when the question was asked. And this is what I got. And she's saying, now, I'm not saying I know for sure either, but some things are starting to make sense to me now. She goes, you know, you can't do this, you know, we got to stop playing the victim card. We're not victims. Oh, victim of the corona, I'm a victim. We can't do anything. She's like, no, you can't live like that. We're not going to be victims. Because if we are, we're not going to gain anything. We're not moving forward. The technology is not coming. We're not going to make America great again. All right. But she thinks there's a deal. She goes, you know, why did Trump really go to India? You know how close it would be for someone from China to go to India and meet Trump secretly. She said, you know, is it possible that Trump went over there and made some deals with India? And someone from China perhaps went over to meet them too. She goes, you know, I don't know. But, you know, I don't know which video or which deep state thing we got this from, but I remember them saying a long time ago, India was going to be the, like the IT arm of the world. That was the deep state's plan. We're going to have these people from India, these cheap working people who will program and code way cheaper than Americans do us. That's going to be our guys. And that's why Google and Facebook and Twitter hire all these H1, whatever, H1 visa people over there. And I just saw some stats on Twitter the other day where they're showing how many massive numbers of people from India, specifically, Google's hiring them all. And saying screw you to the most Americans, basically. And I had a theory on that too. Not just because it was cheaper labor than American. And they still paid them decently, but we got paid better, you know, as Americans here. But I thought to myself, well, how hard would it also be, or how easy would it be, if you're Google and you're hiring all these Indian people, you know, from India. I don't mean Native Americans, India. They're not Americans. They may not even know about our Constitution. They may not even care about our Constitution. Hey, we need you to write this code to shadow ban this guy Jason F4 because he keeps exposing us. So anything he produces, put it way down on the list. Go ahead and code that. Oh, yeah, okay, I am pleasingly pleasant. Let's do this now. They won't even know. They'll just do it. Oh, it's my job. Okay, no problem. They don't know that, well, that might violate something in the Constitution. Nope, just do it. You're not even what's going to happen to you? You're not even an American, dude. You come over, we let you program. Matter of fact, we might even let you program remotely. You don't even have to show up here on the soil. You could work from home, remote in. So I think she might be onto something. We're making deals with India. We're making deals with China, Russia, everybody. And like that triangle Q, whether it was one peg removed or the other one or two or now the third getting ready, something's happening. And I thought, whoa, could you imagine they used the deep state's own tool against them? Oh, another virus. And yeah, there's going to be a little pain and suffering involved because China's actually shutting down for the greater good. Potentially. Again, I'm not saying I know for sure, and she's also saying, I'm not saying I know for sure either, but I got this download when the question was asked, and I just saw this whole thing come in. Just from the question. Boom, it came right in. And she talks a bit more about it, by the way. Way more than I'm giving you. But I think the point of this whole thing, enough of it I just gave. I watched the video, I was just like, oh my God, this resonates with J Snip 4. Not bioweapon, it's gonna double. We've got models on the internet, it doubles, quadruples, quadruplets, what? Quadruplet's not even a word. What? So this thing's gonna have 5 million people infected, 20 million people. Well, why doesn't the flu do that? The flu doesn't do that. Doubles, quadruples, by the 5th of May, by the April 1st, it's gonna... They've got spreadsheets. Never let a good crisis go to waste. I guess that works both ways. Just like the deep state, just like Q told the deep state about the FISA warrants. Oh, guess what, guys? FISA works both ways. Nice knowing you. Anyways, something for y'all to think about. And we're going to find out. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to see who was right, who was wrong, how, whatever. Let's see. Let us see. Take care.